Hello, everybody. It is Saturday, the 8th of November. I want to talk again about our divinity and what it should serve. Um, Again, let's start with Greg Braden, his definition of divinity: the ability to exceed perceived limitations. Right. We are more than we are. No, we are. We are most certainly that. But I want to start again by saying what the Bible tells you, and that is the foundation of our divinity. The first step into divinity, which should be our foundation, was the knowledge of good and bad for ourselves. And we should expand from there. That should always be our foundation. That should be the law. And yes, the law does create restrictions. It does create restrictions, but it does so for good if the law is just. And we cannot go outside or beyond the law. I mean, look at them. They are lawless. Is that what we want to become as a species? Yeah, our esteemed leaders, the megalomaniac lunatics, the lawless ones. Is that the highest level of consciousness that we should all struggle to reach? Is it? So the first foundation was our knowledge of good and bad. The man has become as one of us, as one of the gods, in that he knows good and bad. That's what the book says. And the Gnostics, let's go Gnostic for a minute, said that this world was Sophia. Again, folks, she's not some aeon goddess fluttering around in the pleroma. She is wisdom. She's not a being at all. She's a concept of wisdom. This earth should give you wisdom. Being within her, you should gain wisdom. That is why Eve ate from the tree. That is what she was looking for. She saw the fruit thereof, of the tree, and she saw that it was good to eat and that would make her wise. She was looking for wisdom. Let's try and find it, please. It's here, apparently. So that should be one of our goals, at least. Stay within wisdom, staying within the law, whatever it is we do next. And the law is our knowledge of good and bad. That is the law. Our conscience, the law of our conscience. And we should not go beyond that. Does it restrict us? Absolutely it does, and it should. Otherwise we turn into lunatics. Megalomaniac, brutal, murdering lunatics. Our esteemed leaders are already there. They have gone beyond. And it's not a pretty picture. Right. But now this awakening to our spirituality, and I really want us to define what that actually means. In real terms. That which is real. Because there is another part of us, and that part is real. So we expand into the knowledge of our energy body. Let's call it that. I know there are teachings, especially in these, they have several layers of bodies. You shift your consciousness into a different layer of yourself, and you see and know according to that. So the knowledge of our energy body, the knowledge of energy, Tesla, the knowledge of energy and vibration, and what we can do with that. And that is real. I absolutely believe, I think there's enough evidence in this world. There has been enough evidence throughout the entire history of humanity that that is real. But then let's stay real. Because I tell you something, what we can do through the awareness of that body and learning to master that body. Again, we need to be the master of it. The same way as a baby growing up needs to master the physical body, needs to learn to walk, needs to learn how to use its hands. There's all things that need to be learned, so we need to learn to master the next layer of ourselves. Go into the awareness, shift into the awareness of it and learn how to work it. What it can do, what it can't do. And again, let me say, all the time restricted by the law of our conscience. What we can do and what we cannot do. Even though it might be physically, spiritually, really possible, just because you can does not mean you should. And we need to keep our foundation. The thing is, so that is what I would describe at the moment as spirituality. It is the knowledge of energy and vibration in the spirit, in the unseen, that which cannot be physically seen but exists. We all know it exists. Many things exist that we cannot see. Again, don't go all the way out there. Other dimensions, God knows what? No. Stay close to home. Stay real. It exists and you can work things with it. Jesus was the best example. Again, that was not given from somewhere else. He did that. He had knowledge and he worked that knowledge. I do believe that he traveled, that knowledge that he had was like scattered all over the globe in different mystery schools, in different traditions. But he gathered knowledge and he worked that knowledge. That is who we are. Yeah? He's not a son of God and some from somewhere else. That is who we are. That is what we can do. Now, it is said at the moment that there is this big thing coming up, this big fork where we have to make a decision, whether spirituality or technology. They have already made that decision. As it stands at the moment, they are becoming spiritual and we will be given technology. That is what will happen. That is the plan. They are gathering knowledge, increased knowledge about spirituality, how it's blurting out of us. As I said before, the internet is the gold mine of the gods. They're mining our gold, they're mining our knowledge. Yeah, we are thinking about it, we're speaking about it, but they are not going around the internet, I take in everything. Because there's an awful lot of, there's wheat and then there's tares. The internet is full of tares. They're picking out the nuggets that are actually real, that will serve. And we're giving it to them, not knowing what it is we're doing. And they are using that knowledge in very real ways. Okay, spiritual, if you talk about telepathy, remote viewing, healing, maybe weather manipulation, not done through a machine, but done through us. That's ancient knowledge. Yeah, humans have been rain dancing for God knows how long. They know it's real. They're working it. It's serving them. Our military agencies, our rulers, our governments, our military agencies have gone full on spiritual. They're doing it. I mean, once they were found out, they made a big thing of, oh no, we're not actually doing this anymore. We're shutting that all down. You know, it's not really real anyway. Don't believe that for a minute. They've just gone underground. They were discovered and they've gone underground, and that's all. They are going full on spiritual, and the knowledge will serve their intention. That is to say, to be the rulers and to have dominion over this world. And the expanded knowledge of us will serve the rulers. Make no mistakes, our military is going spiritual. In a very targeted, very precise, very scientific way. Yeah? They've gone spiritual, but they've not gone mystical. There's nothing mysterious about it, nothing mystical about it. It's a reality. So they're going spiritual, we are going mostly mystical. Yeah, into the fog. Yeah, they are doing precise experiments to see what it is, how it can be achieved, what it can work, and then how you can use that. We are sitting on the internet looking at pictures of fluttering light beings floating about in the cosmos amongst the planets, you know, pink and purple planets and a pink and purple cosmos with fluttering beings in it. Oh, we're also spiritual. Yeah? Palladians, Orions, demons in the astral zone, whatever. We're in La La Land. Yeah? We're floating about in fairy tales. Whilst they are gathering the knowledge. Because whatever fairy tale, whatever story, there's always a grain of truth in there. Always is. That is the nugget of gold that they are picking out. Whilst we are going, I don't know where. So they, again, they have a precise mind. They know exactly where they're going. They know exactly what they want. They know exactly what knowledge they need to get them there. And they're being extremely focused. We are scatterbrained as hell. So again, if we restrict, and we must restrict, absolutely must restrict what spiritual actually means. Get out of all. Bring it back to earth, restrict it, and then just concentrate on that bit of it. Forget the rest. So the expansion into a body that we have, into an energy body, and what it is we can do with it. And then who shall it serve? What shall it serve? Us. Healing should heal. The knowledge of future events should help us to navigate our way without harm. So many ways in which that knowledge can serve us. Again, Jesus showed it. Yeah? Love your neighbor as yourself. Continuously give to one another. Again, based on the law of our conscience, that what should be the foundation of everything else. And then that knowledge of ourselves, we're not trapped in matter, we're trapped in ignorance. We are more than matter. We just don't know it. That's our ignorance. To expand the knowledge to serve each other, to serve this world. That was the one way, and greater things will you do. The other way is everything should be done to glorify a God that is not of this world, that's somewhere else. A ruler. Yeah? Everything we do should serve the rulers. Make them victorious, happy and glorious, long to rule over us. That's the British anthem. I mean, folks, really, listen to yourselves. Listen to what it is you're asking for because you're being given. We give them the knowledge so they can rule over us. And as I said, they're lawless. And they're calling that to be above in a greater place. Well, you know them by their fruit. Judge, please. Do judge them. So really, first of all, we need to have a definition of spirituality. No, it goes endlessly. I'm sure it does. And I'm sure that the knowledge of energy and vibration is not the end. There is probably more. But we need to master one thing, make it a solid foundation, become that. Yeah, finish one task before you start the next. And I think that should be now our task, to become that. To find the knowledge within ourselves, maybe by self-observation, by the observation of others, by the observation of what's happening in the world. As I say, don't go too far out. Restrict yourself. Be focused on what it is you're actually looking for. And find the truth of ourselves. Work that truth. Guided by your conscience. As it stands at the moment, they are doing it. As I said, our esteemed leaders are going full on spiritual. We will be given technology. Right now, this expansion of awareness and us blabbering about anything and everything, that is allowed. Once they have the knowledge they need, it will be shut down. The likes of Gaia will disappear. That knowledge will no longer be in this world. We will go into darkness, ruled over by technology, by beings that will have become even more powerful and idiotic than they are already. Once we have technology, if we only know physical, again, we're trapped in the physical then, not because the other doesn't exist, because we don't know it. Then they can control us. As long as they're building things outside of us, material, they can control the material. And if we know nothing else, then they've got us. So yes, that is what we need to learn about ourselves. Stop looking anywhere else. Stop looking for saviors coming from the cosmos. The knowledge is within us and all around us. And I think it's also said that it's not hidden. It's probably right in front of your nose, you're just not seeing it. Actually, I'm talking about myself as well here. Just not seeing it, what is right in front of your nose. But in order to see what is right in front of your nose, you really have to have your focus away from the cosmos. Because as long as your focus is out there, you will definitely not see what is in front of your nose. So this whole blinking internet thing, we really need to restrict what it is we're talking about. They are focused, they are scientific, and they're focused, they're spiritual, they're not mystical. It's real, it's not a mysticism. If we did the same, all this knowledge that is scattered, and bring it together to one point, or only bring the knowledge that will serve. Forget about the rest for now. Focus. Any knowledge pertaining to our energy body, I would say, is the next step in our evolution. So stop blabbing about, I don't know, fluttering beams of light, demons in the astral zone, a pink and purple cosmos. Get out of that. Let's focus. Once we are that being, once we've become the being that has an energy body, that it can work, that it's our reality, I'd say that is probably not the end. Yeah, we might be limitless, I don't know. But as I said, one step at a time. Not everything at once. You cannot work everything at once. Work on one thing, become that, go to the next. Step by step. And we should do that, we should focus, and we should do that before they have perfected it. Once they have perfected it, folks, there is going to be a shutdown of this knowledge. This knowledge was destroyed once before. During the time of the mystery schools, Christianity went on the rampage and absolutely destroyed that knowledge. Well, destroyed the knowledge for the masses. I would say those in charge still had it. They still have it. This is another expansion of awareness. They are gathering the knowledge. Once they have it, something will go on the rampage again and bring us back into darkness. But we will have technology. I'm sure they give that to us. You know, loving and giving as they are. But they will have advanced in knowledge, but not in consciousness or conscience. And they will become more terrible than they are already. Anyway, here folks, okay, our divinity is that we are more than what we are. But our knowledge of good and bad already is our divinity. That's our foundation. Let's expand then, whilst being restricted and being wise. Again, let's go back to the beginning. This is Sophia. This is where you gain wisdom. Let's try that. Gain wisdom as well as knowledge and power. I leave it at that for today. And I talk to you again soon. Bye.